Well, good morning and welcome back to Balfour Farm. I'm just headed out to move the heifers. I'm also going to give them a little bit of grain and we're going to spray them down for flies. The flies have been terrible. It's been so hot and so dry for so long. Yeah, they're just really bad. So go get the heifers, Moose. Huh? So it has been nearly 100 degrees, almost up in the upper 90s all week long. There's a slight chance of rain tomorrow. Really hope we actually get it. I don't know if you can see or not, but the pasture is incredibly dried out. It's brown, it's not growing back. All of our first cut is nearly done. Just got maybe two more days of first cut, but there's not going to be any second cut by the looks of it. Not enough moisture in the ground to make it grow. All right, well, you thirsty? Heifers are grained. I managed to get them coated with some fly spray. The flies actually didn't seem to be too bad on them this morning. They're bothering me though. So these last few days we've actually had to keep the cows up by the barn to get them some more shade, and we've been feeding them hay, which isn't ideal. There's not a lot of grass for them to eat right now, so we're actually feeding out hay earlier than we ever have in the past, and we're gonna have less hay than we've ever had in the past. So we're really hoping for some rain. Well, it's kind of late now though in the season. This pasture here, we clipped it, probably 6 weeks ago now, and it's barely grown back at all. Lauren is milking the cows this morning, and while she's doing that, I need to hook up the bale wagon, go haul back some dry hay that I made yesterday. I baled it up yesterday. Get it back to the farm here. Then I need to run across town, pick up a few more bales that I couldn't get on the last load from another place. That also is dry hay. And then I'm gonna head off and mow some more hay today and make some silage hay. So I'm gonna try and mow it, bale it, wrap it, rake it, all that. Get a little more feed put up. I probably won't video any of that. I've done a lot of that already, but we have a few other projects that we need to get done over the next couple days. And if it actually rains tomorrow, we've got a project on our cow barn that I've been trying to get to for a while. All right, well, I'm on my last load of hay that I'm hauling back to the farm right now. I've done several, and it has been incredibly time consuming. To make things go even slower than they normally do, I'll show you. You wouldn't believe me if I told you this. This hay field that we're hauling off of, it is about 3.5 to 4 miles down the road from the farm. It's not really close, but so it's not the 3.5 or 4 mile drive that's actually taking all that much time here. It's the fact that the town and the state have both decided to work on every single road that we use to access the farm. Our road here has been shut down to 1 lane with a stoplight. They've shut down another road, and the main road at the end, they're paving it, so it's down to 1 lane. So everywhere we go, there's road construction to get to the farm and then to get to the hayfield. So that road is closed to through traffic. This road here, we have traffic light. Looks like I might actually get lucky and hit a green light here. Oh, no, there we go. Now it's going to change on me. Now we get to hurry up and wait. So they're paving this road here, and I'm really hoping. Earlier they were working right in here, and they had they shut down to one lane. Looks like they might have finally made it past the field entrance here, which would be really nice. Alright, well it turns out that wasn't too bad. The guys that are paving the road apparently have made enough progress that they're up the road a ways, so that worked out good. Now to get to the bales here. Got one full load of bales and I think we'll be done. Alright, well we were back at it today. I stopped videoing yesterday. We were having lots of issues here on the farm. Actually, it was just one issue. There was a big problem. So we actually, one of our wells, we have two here on the property. One of them has just about dried out. We're getting a little bit of water, and it's the main well that supplies the creamery, the cows, the pigs, everything. We have a second backup well. I'll show you what we're going to do here in a minute, but I spent the day working on hooking up the second well. So they keep saying we're supposed to get rain. We haven't got any, and it's probably been at least 6 weeks, maybe longer. Any real rain. So I spent the better part of yesterday hooking up the generator. So we're way down by the road. There's no power here. We have a well. It's actually a pretty decent well with a frost-free hydrant. What I needed to do yesterday was actually run this line. I put in a new line, and it feeds all the way out and hooks into our pasture line. Normally the pasture line comes from the barn way up on the hill and feeds out. What I've done is I've actually tied into this well, and now it feeds the opposite direction. We've got everything that's out here on pasture. All these tanks are running off this well right now. So the main well that we have here on the farm that we normally rely on, it's struggling to keep up with the demand. So I'm hoping where if we split this out, this well will give water to all the animals, and then the main well will actually supply all the creamery and the dairy. All right, so what we're working on here is we've got water, like I said, that comes from the road out there and feeds all the water tanks that are out here on this pasture. What I need to do now though is tee into this and actually get another line that goes all the way down there, and then probably 600-700 feet up, cross the driveway, and then run up to the pig barn. So we've got water to the pasture here, but there's no water currently other than our other well to the pig barn, the chicken coop, and the stock tank that's up by the milking barn. So I'm gonna try and tee into this, run up some line, and hopefully not have any leaks. I have a bunch of older pipe that we had used at one point to actually run up this laneway, so I've dragged some of it out here. I'm gonna have to pick through some of it. Some of it's broken, but I do have some new line too, so we're gonna get it all up to the barn now. All right, this is all teed in now, so now I just have to continue this line back up to the pig barn. It's only 600 or 700 feet, I think. Only. Right, so I've got the line here most of the way up. Right now it's just at the edge of the driveway. I need to cross the driveway here, and then it's just another short run, maybe 200 feet up to the barn, so almost there. So what I'm going to use here to cross the driveway is I have an old piece of pipeline for the milking pipeline. It's 2-inch and it's stainless steel. So we're going to run some of the black pipe through the center of it, lay it across the driveway, so when trucks drive over it and tractors, that's not going to crush it. We are going to mound up a pile of gravel on top of it to keep it in place, and then also just to make sure that we don't crush the pipe. It is. Got the pipe all buried. This is a temporary solution. We plan to eventually dig an actual culvert underneath the driveway so we can run the line under the driveway, but for right now it'll work. It'll keep the grain truck, the tractors from crushing the pipe. So we've got the guy that does our excavation work coming up this coming week to do some work behind the barn, which we'll show you later, but when he's here, I think we'll dig through the driveway, put a culvert in, get that buried under, and then we won't have to do this again. We won't have a big bump in the middle of our driveway, a speed bump. All right, well there it is, the last connection. I've got a shut-off valve here, so this is feeding from our old well that's way down at the road. This hydrant here is actually fed off the well that's up here at the barn, so this is going to feed all the way back from half-mile back. Got a shut-off valve so it doesn't go back into the barn. And then this line actually goes out to the pig barn and the chicken barn. And yeah, and it'll also fill this tank here that's just outside the milking barn. Alright, so all that's left now to do is I'm going to run down, start the generator so it kicks on the well pump, and then start looking for leaks. I hope we don't have any, but I have a feeling there's going to be at least a couple. Alright, let's go look for leaks. The valve is off. Got water there. The one good thing about it being so dry is you can easily find a leak, so there is no water anywhere. It is just, the ground is dusty everywhere you go, so a leak will show up really quick. All right, success at last. There wasn't one leak. I can't believe it. Which I pieced together a bunch of older pieces of pipe, so I almost expected there'd be a problem somewhere, and especially with all those joints. No leaks. Really happy about that. However, I am not a plumber, and I'll show you what I did here. And yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I wasn't. So I had mentioned how I put this valve in to shut off the water so it wouldn't go back into the hydrant, into the barn, what have you. Yeah. That is completely unnecessary. So when I turned the water on, I realized it after the fact that I need this water to go back into the hydrant, back into the ground, into the line that goes back out that feeds the pig barn. And I don't have to worry about it. It also needs to go underground and feed the hydrant over in the cow barn here. The back barn, not the dairy barn. The dairy barn itself has a shut-off inside, which I had done already. Shuts the whole line off, and there's a check valve so that any of this water can't go back into the barn. Anyway, that was completely unnecessary. But there it is. So, long story short, the pig barn actually has water to it now. The automatic waterers are back up and running. The automatic water in the chicken coop here is running. And then everybody's float and all the pasture tanks have water to them. Of course, this is a temporary fix to hopefully we get some rain in our regular... Oh, hear water running into one of the tanks over there. Hopefully our normal well recovers here soon. If we ever get some rain, it should. But in the meantime, we'll just continue to water the farm off that older well that's down there. The only downside is that we need to actually run the generator to do it. So, and then we need to go down several times a day, turn it on and off. So not ideal, but it's better than having no water at all. I spoke too soon. I no more than turn the camera off and I turn around and here we've got a leak. So quite the leak that is. Alright, well, I'm gonna go fix that, but I need to go shut the water off to do it. Alright, well, we were back at it once again, another day, and we're back down here at the well. I'm gonna show you what we're up to now. We hooked up the generator to the well, and then I had it hooked to this hydrant. And I can guarantee there's a plumber out there somewhere that was yelling at their TV screen, watching what I was doing, saying, this is not right, and it's not gonna work. And they would have been right. So this setup here we used quite a while back. Our daughter, she's a vegetable farmer, and she used to actually grow veggies here, and she used to use this well to irrigate the vegetable patch, and which works just fine for that. So when this is hooked to the actual stock tanks, when the stock tanks have floats on them, and when they fill up all the way, the water stops running. That's the problem. So what happens is the pump just continues to pump, pump, pump. The line is under pressure, the pressure builds too much, and yeah, you would most likely either burn out the pump or blow out a line, one of the two things. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put a pressure tank on here to turn, so when the pressure reaches a certain limit, 60 pounds in the line, it'll actually shut the pump off. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how this works. So what I've got left to do here is, this is the whole pressure switch. There's an on shut-off valve and a drain pressure relief valve. This is the switch that will turn it on and off, the pump that is. I put all this together back up at the shop. I didn't video any of it. I am not a plumber by any stretch of the imagination. I guess that should be obviously clear by now. So anyway, we're gonna get this hooked up and tie the line into it. I think I have enough slack, I hope, and see how it works. Should work a lot better. So my brother is an actual plumber. That's what he does for a profession. And he'll probably see me doing this and be like, how many times did I have to tell him to stay away from the water pipes? I always have a tendency to call him and ask him, how do I fix this? How do I do this? Or whatever. He'll be like, what are you doing now? So he's always surprised at what I get into. So. This is just a little irritating. They painted the bottom of the tank. There's paint in the threads. That's really irritating. All right, well there we go. The piping is all set. So got this all tied back into the well. This is just a pressure gauge I'd put on there before. We don't really need it now because we've got the pressure gauge coming off the tank. But this is only seasonal, so we're actually going to have to take this all apart and put it away in the wintertime because it would obviously freeze. I hope by the time things get cold we actually don't need this well anymore and our other well recovers. So all that's left to do now is just run the wire to this, then run a cord over to the generator, and should be ready to go. All right, well, I'm back. That was trip number 452 back to the shop to go get more stuff. Before you know it, I'll have everything I own down here. There's these little tiny bees flying around bothering me. Get out of here. Anyway, I had to run up and get some electrical fittings, some electrical tape, so we can get this wired up. Just one more thing I forgot, that's all. Of course, I forgot a screwdriver when I went up to the shop. I'm stuck using my Leatherman here. I should have got a screwdriver. Probably should still go back up and get one, but oh, I'm almost done. So close. All right, well there we go. It's all wired up. Get my little heat shrink things on there. I just need to try and squeeze this cover back on there somehow. Actually, that went on a lot easier than I thought it would. Before installing switch. Oh, I wonder if I should have read that. Huh. Oh well. Anyway, there we go. Hopefully it's all done. Well, it's all done. Hopefully it works. Water is working. All right, well, we're all set. The well is up and running. We've got that pressure tank all plumbed in. So hopefully now I can just leave the generator on for a couple hours at a shot. It'll supply water to all these tanks, to the pig barn, to the chicken barn. I'll have to turn it on and off a few times during the day. It's better than having a dry well up at the barn there. I'm gonna leave that generator running for maybe an hour or two. I'll have to come down and turn it on and off every so often just to keep the tanks full and water running to all the barns. So this video is more of a how not to do it. So I feel like I should put a little disclaimer at the beginning of the video. Don't do what I do because it may not work. So that well setup that we had worked really well when you're just irrigating. Essentially it was a wide open pipe that could just pump and pump and pump. When you're trying to use it in a pressurized system where the water actually gets shut off and then turned on, shut off and turned on, it does not work. So you need a pressure tank like that. I hadn't thought about that when I first started this though. I was just thinking, oh, I'll just turn it on, it'll fill the tanks, and I didn't think about when it actually shut off and the tank was full, and that the fact that the pump would still continue to run and make pressure, a lot of pressure. All right, so like I was saying earlier, it hasn't rained in 6 to 8 weeks. It's been an incredibly long time without rain here. Everything is dry as can be. The driveways, the ground, the grass isn't growing. The trees, actually, a lot of trees are losing their leaves because it's so dry. Something we're not used to here in Maine. But what's interesting is over the winter, as we plowed the driveway here, I had noticed there was one spot that was real slushy all winter long. It never froze. There was always water here, and yeah, we have water running down our driveway here. So this is right off the edge of our driveway, as you can see, and yeah, there's water all in here. So, oh, look at all the frogs. Frogs everywhere. Yeah, I don't know where the water's coming from. There used to be an old barn right here. See if I can catch a frog. What's in there? Oh. Yeah, not that much luck there. Anyway, there used to be a big old barn here a long time ago, and the foundation, remnants of the foundation are still behind here. The only thing I can think of is there was a milk house here. Somehow there must be a spring here somewhere along the way. This is relatively new. This has only actually showed up here in the last, oh, I don't know, I think it was just last winter was the first time I noticed it. Before that, this has never had water here. So, I don't know, something interesting. So maybe we should get in there and try and dig out a little bit and see where the water's coming from. The downside to this is it's directly next to our driveway, so it's not an ideal spot to have a spring, but anyway, there is water here. Tell you, looking at that puddle there along the driveway where it's so dry right now, it really makes me want to get in there and just start digging and see if I could find something. Not sure what I would do with the water once I found it. We'd have to do maybe a dug well or something, but it's really strange that it would just all of a sudden pop up over the winter. All right, well, we're out here tonight just checking one last time on our water tank to make sure it's full, which it is. So hopefully our well makes a full recovery here and continues to keep our tank full. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more of what we're doing here on the farm, and we will see you next time.